Hopefully that's a little louder, a little better at this point. Let's start in Tai Chi Harmony. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Allow your feet to touch. Keep them together. Allow there to be some type of spread. And then sit your tailbone over top of your feet. And then relax your shoulders over top of your hips. Push the back of your neck up. Connect the tongue to the upper palate. Take a deep breath. Bring your hands together in the center. Check to see that you have a half smile. Adjust your vision. Adjust your focus. If you're outside, look all the way to the horizon. If you're inside, imagine where the horizon would be. What would you see if there were no walls? Use your abdomen to breathe. Grip your toes, lifting the base of the torso when breathing. And we're going to start with some basic Qigong. So with this next one, bring your fingertips together like you're pulling, like you're going to lift something on your hands, and then bring it up past your face, and then directly over top of your crown chakra, create a vacuum. Pull all the way up, and then reach out to the sides. You can make it a stretch. And then the same thing, clasp the hands, and as if you're lifting, relax your shoulders, extend your neck, straighten your neck, just past the face. And then when you get over the head, activate the points in the palms of the hand to draw the chi up the center line. Reach all the way out to the side, relax your shoulders. Go at your own pace. Time it. This one is timed with the breathing. So we're inhaling up about half of the breath, and then the second half of the breath. Pull the chi from your hands to your hands. And when you reach the top, you can stretch vertically. Last week, we talked about vertical chi, the idea of making the barcode as straight and narrow as we can. On your next one, do 3 more. Make it the most relaxed, fullest, deepest breaths of the week. And connect your palms to your head top to move the energy. When you finish, return to Tai Chi Harmony. Connect the legs. Connect the hands. Connect the tongue to the upper palate. Take a deep breath, relax. Let's warm up just a little bit. Lock your shoulders into place and start by making some gentle circles. And as you turn those circles, feel the areas where it's tight, where it's tense. You can stretch those areas more. But similar to the exercise we did last week, you can put your mind into that area and tell it to relax. If there's tension, that means the muscle is tensed up, it's clamped. And if it's clamped, if you have that kind of tension, it means there's a signal being sent from somewhere, whether it's in the brain. Have you changed directions? If not, change directions. Go slow, go at your own pace. Remember the same breathing we just started with. So when you come back to the center, the shoulder tension, the more you can relax, you can keep your neck straight. We want to keep the same correct, perfect posture, even if we're just standing around. And then put your mind into your shoulders and allow it to relax. You can use this the same if you have tension in your neck, in your back, places that are hard. If you have tension in your forearms, very easy. You can massage it this way. But there's some places difficult to reach. We're going to actually do a little bit of exercise for the shoulders today. So the same way we had cupped the hands earlier, we're going to do something similar, almost as if you have the hands together like this. And we're going to move back from the camera so that you can see. As if you're taking your hands and I'm allowing them to open. And then when I'm lowering my hands, I'm lowering my shoulders, elbows, and wrists all at once. So as if this whole part of the shoulder, right? I refer to this section as the shoulder harness, where the shoulder sort of connects to the torso. So we're going to lift that up, lift the shoulders up, pull the hands back, almost as if we're going over top of the head, just past the face again, and then lowering them down. So you can think of making a big circle. So reach out. If you see my hands connected, reach out as far as you can to make the circle. Reach up. And then drop the shoulder harnesses simultaneously with gravity naturally. So reach out, reach up. And the eyes following the hands. So when the hands are going out, we're looking out. When the hands go up, we're looking up. When the hands come down, going down. And I want you to get this, we do shoulder rolls, right? So I want you to get this exaggerated feeling through your upper back. And the feeling may be that your ribs and your spine here, vertical. And as you drop, all of that muscle and tendon mass feels like it's going over top of that. You may even hear like a little something when you're doing it. So do it as relaxed as you can, but make the shape as large as you can. By the way, you can do this if you cross your hands. The smaller you make the circle, changes the dynamic. So at the end of the first section, we have, after we return Tiger to Mountain, we have this sort of cross this way. You can use the same one. So take that circle, make it larger, and then let the whole thing drop over your torso. So reach all the way out. You can turn your palms to the sky, and then Another way to think of it is have your palms out and open. You're reaching up, and like you're taking water and you want to pour it on yourself. So, but the key factor, keep your arms relaxed and soft and lightweight. And I want you to feel where your shoulders in the back, dropping across the shoulder blades, dropping across the rib cage, dropping across the cervical vertebrae, the spine. And so earlier we said, imagine you're pulling chi from these points. The same way, imagine you can bring the good chi. So breathing, reach the apex of the breath when you're expanded. And then, can you hear a sound? Because I hear sound. If you can hear that. That's all the tissue, right? How many here can hear something? Show of hands, you're not saying anything. Does it feel good? By the way, this one, we don't want to do too many of these because there's something else happening. We're actually doing a type of workout exercise by raising the hands. This part, crunching over the shoulders, so nice. But the first part, you may actually create a different kind of stiffness, soreness. So we're going to move on from that. And we're going to come back to the raising hands, both for a qigong, very powerful, right, position. When you see somebody, a winner, somebody that's just won, tennis champion, golf champion, right? They put their hands in the air. Somebody's won the contest. And so we can use this type of thing to move all of the shoulders at once in the back. And then later, we're going to talk about punching. And we're going to use this same kind of raising the whole arm to punch. So let's continue to warm up. Take a comfortable stance. Make sure that there's room because we're going to do some turning. So lock your hips in place. Relax your legs. Pull your head top up and sink your tailbone down. Breathe deep. Check to see that you have a very serious expression. If somebody was watching you do this exercise, would you look like angry birds, flapping, changing up over the shoulder? The area that we were just self-massaging, you can allow your hand, if you see I'm letting my hand sort of wrap and flap up over the back. Keep pushing up through the back of the head. What am I doing with my leg? I'm making sure my knee and my toe following the same direction. Come back to the center, take a deep breath. Sinking, have Tai Chi. The bottom is going down, the top is going up. Same relaxed, deep breathing we started with. And next one. By the way, if you're following along at home, this last one is sometimes confusing to people, is one hand is going around the side this way, the other hand going over the back. Just this. And then we're repeating on the other side. By the way, this is the pattern of this last swing hands is the same when we do this one. One hand is up, one hand is across, and then we change. One hand is up, the other hand is back. Here. Here, here, now without the stick. Same thing we just did. One hand goes up to throw the stick where it catches. We're just practicing without a stick. Let's continue. do some hip circles. So make a comfortable stance and stretch. So as if you have a hula hoop and you want to press along every point of the hoop. So make the circle complete. Remember to breathe with the same long, deep, relaxed breathing that we started with. And this is your stretch, so take the time. If you feel back in that corner, it's tight, tap it out, push more into that section. Remember to keep your upper body straight. Breathing. Come back to the center. Next, we're gonna, lots of unusual things in class today. Next, I want to show a video. We're gonna start a practice for squatting. Because I said one thing that we're missing in this class is this type of, in Mandarin, what's called kubu, which is like a deep stance or low stance, right? Hanging stance. And we can do that in the form. It appears in the Tai Chi form. But I don't teach it because I'm worried about injury, knee injury. And so today we're going to look at a video through the screen, and we're going to practice squatting. So if you have some place, you can use a door handle, but make sure it's not the cheap lightweight one. Make sure it's something fixed. I recommend something you're certain can support your weight, counter. You can use the kitchen, and we're going to practice some squatting. So let's watch a little animation first. Can you see the animation right now? Oh, no, here, we have to do this. Okay, so this animation has 3 simple points for squatting. The first one is make sure your feet are at least shoulder width wide. And the second one is to make sure that the knees stay behind the toes. And the last one is we want to make sure that this back and neck are straight, because otherwise it's incorrect. So if you follow these 3 basic principles, you'll be able to straighten your legs from squatting to standing. And this is considered to be a sort of critical human function. A lot of Americans, because of sedentary lifestyle, weight, and just not using their joints for a long time or incorrectly cannot squat. So let's go back to, we turn off the desktop here. And let me go back here. Did everyone see that? Can you see the video while I was playing? Right, good. So today I'm just going to talk about it. So I know that some of you practicing where there's a space. If you don't have something very solid to hold on to, you can use a wall, right? But what I want you to remember is keeping the knees behind the toes and keeping the spine straight. So this is something you can practice every day. It's actually very good for you. And if you have a squatting practice, if you can actually already squat, we're going to talk about another exercise you can practice. So keeping your eyes on the toes, making sure your knees not going forward, sitting your tailbone back, keeping your head top, straight and level, and then standing up with the same quality. Again, practice at your own level. You have to be your own physical therapist. I don't want anyone to become injured. If your practice makes you worse, what good is it? Right? So squatting is pretty essential for leg strength. If you already have a squatting practice, you can use a wall to improve. Even if you don't, you can improve your sort of range of motion. So put your heels against the wall and put your head top, your tailbone, and your shoulder blades against the back of the wall. And then keep your knees together. This one You see my knees go in front of my toes, but because I'm ensuring perfect alignment with my upper body, this is a good way to increase your ankle flexibility and increase leg strength. Important to use a wall for that one. By the way, this last exercise I just taught, these wall squats, TC taught them to me. And I showed them then to another Qigong teacher, said, look at this amazing ancient Chinese secret, wall squatting. And she said, oh yes, Michael Phelps does that for training. Talking about American swimmers. So swimmers apparently using this one to practice their launch. So if you put your heels, your tailbone, and your head top against the wall, you can practice and make your legs super strong. Again, recommended by TC. There's no Tai Chi application. But then, once you have that kind of squatting power, you can transfer it from one leg to the other. For any of you that knew me when I was doing the competition, I could do the one leg squat, right? Called pistol squat. I'm cheating, I'm using the tabletop, right? But your body is strong enough to do it, and you can develop your tendons to support that kind of weight. So, we'll come back to squatting more. Grip your feet, push your tailbone back and away. Relax your spine, your neck, your head, your hair, your shoulders, your arms, your elbows, your wrists, your fingers. Remember to breathe the same long, deep breathing that we started with. And then when you're ready, grip the ground and unroll your whole body, including your spine. Use your abs, breathing, inflate all the way up. Relax. We're going to do one more of those. So gripping the ground. And again, if you like to push the limit a little bit, you can walk your hands down the back of your legs. However you like to practice. Be sure to let everything relax. So we're folding in half, and we want to imagine the tailbone pointing directly to the sky. Take a few breaths while you're inverted. And then when you're ready, use your abs, grip the ground, relax your spine, unroll, inflate all the way up, and relax. Next, we're going to do some more leg stretching. So I'm taking a square step, shoulder width wide, shoulder width deep, folding this hip so that my toe, knee, and hip are in one line on this side. So we don't want that knee poking out or tipping in. And then stretching over the extended leg. Pull the toe up towards your nose, reach out over, fold the abs. It's your stretch. Breathing. And then when you're ready, push on the rear foot, stand up. Change, let's do the other side. So gripping the ground, push the tailbone back and away. Keep your spine straight, extend your spine, your neck. Use your abs, relax your back, and try to return to that deep breathing. Grip your standing foot and don't let your knee wobble. Breathing, look past your toe, look past your fingertips, and either tuck your chin or push it forward, one or the other. Long breathing, push up through. We're going to do one more on each side. Push. When you stand up, give yourself a second to relax. Grip the ground, and then change. Push your tailbone back, keep that leg lined up and solid, stretch. And then when you're ready, push forward. Remember to breathe. So let's look at some Tai Chi basics. One of the first things we teaching new people is Tai Chi harmony. And so Tai Chi harmony is a concept of, we have one is sort of the center post. And then that one becomes a two, splits, right? When we have left and right. And that two splits again to become four. So we have one, we have two, and then once we sync, we have top, bottom, left, and right. So you can think of this type of thing. And then from there, it splits. And so this basic idea is where X-stepping comes from, sort of the next, after we have Tai Chi harmony, and we have this step. Then, with the two sides, we're stepping backwards left, center, front right, center, front left, center, rear right, center. So Tai Chi is a series of expanding concepts based on the most basic. We have one, becomes two, 3 and 4, and then that 3 and 4 travels to different places, right? Different directions. By the way, the X-stepping and all of the steps in Tai Chi are based off of the Hu Xing, the 5 elements. So when we're standing in the center in Tai Chi harmony, this is called Ding, earth, right? Vertical, center. And so for the elements, we would say earth, maybe the color is yellow, right? Like the color of yellow soil. It's the most stable but least balanced, right? So if we're standing, just like if you take an object and you put it on its edge, right? I've never tried to balance this thing before, so I don't know that it would work. You can put some salt on the ground to help balance it. But you see, just like the stick, if we can get it to balance, it'll stay there for a long time. But if you touch it just a little bit, it moves. The same thing with us. If I'm in a martial arts situation, if I have to deal with something, this is very balanced. I can stand here for a long time. But if some power comes, I have to move quickly. And the movements, when we shift back, stepping back from the center to the rear left, rear right, on each side. So if I'm facing forward, if this is my center and I step back, I'm sort of retreating, right? I'm making space. This element's called wood. So we think of it like the tree. So here it's earth, and then when power comes, I change to wood. Why is it wood? Because it's very flexible. When I step back, I want to be rooted to the ground, connected, but I want to be able to change and move. So center is earth. Stepping back is wood. What happens when we step forward? Remember, my center is here. So when I step forward, something else is happening. There's a different element. It's metal. So from earth, we have wood. By the way, these are not necessarily connected. We're using them as a type of grouping. And then when we step forward into each corner, this is metal. So when we are attacking, or if we're not using this in martial arts sense, if we're looking this from the sense of business acumen and you go to make the deal, right? This is metal, right? When we're forward, we're attacking like the axe. But when we're defending. Somebody wants to come to us with a problem. We want to be like wood. So the axe has to chop into the wood. The softer, the more supple the wood is, the less the axe can find some place to reside. There's 2 elements. If we said there's 5 elements, there's 2 we haven't covered yet. And these aren't in X-stepping, left and right. So if this is my center, we have wood, earth, metal, earth, metal, earth, wood, earth, fire and water, left and right. Where do we see sidestepping? Even in the very first. So in the fire and water sort of have 2 different ideas. Water moving very quickly downwards. Fire moving very quickly upwards. So when you do cloud hands, you can add some type of quality. Is it more fiery? Is it more watery? If I do my cloud hands, right, if we start and I press left and right, this side step down here, is it heavy like water, like a flood that's rushing in to sink on the ground? Or is it lightweight, like fire that floats up like a spark that flies away and disappears? You can change this quality of your step. So let's continue with X-stepping. So we said first, Tai Chi harmony is 1. Then the person is standing, they have left and right is 2. And then when we do Tai Chi Chi Chi, the commencement, we have this top, bottom, left and right. And from here, once the movement starts, it can change to anything. We use organized stepping pattern, X-stepping, to practice concepts. So once the student has started moving into the X, right, we don't really talk about the arms, but then we can. So earlier we did this one. Swing hands. So practice just one corner, stepping back and turning. And get the timing correct. So if I face a different angle, if power is coming to me, I can avoid an attack at the same time, or block, right? There's something that's there, I don't want it there. I can move it out of the way. So time the movement, step to the corner and let the arm fly. Keep the spine straight. Relax your shoulders. Get as much momentum out of it as possible. Same thing with the other side. Get the timing. Step back to the right. Get your whole body involved in the process, from your toes to your head top, and from your fingertips from one side to the other. The trick is changing in the X. So if we start from the center, we'll go slow, stepping back, turn, center, turn, center. There's another turn, forward, back, center, turn, back, forward, forward, back, back, forward, turn, turn, forward, back, turn, turn, back, forward. Turn. So there's this pattern. And what's the purpose of this? This is sort of very basic, full body type movement, right? We can incorporate this into our walking, the hands and feet going at the same time. But we can also incorporate it into the martial art. My hand and foot traveling at the same time, right? And even if that's opposite, because in this case we're doing cross type things. This goes into the basic Tai Chi. We have brush knee press in the first section, Ban Lan Shui. And what should the power be like, right? So I said earlier we're going to do some more shoulder exercises. How many here feel your shoulders more relaxed after doing the thing we did earlier, right? It's a great exercise. So this is actually one that I made up, and I was thinking about giving it a very funny, giving it a name, pulling chi from heaven, drawing the heavenly waters, some kind of thing. This is how some of these originate. But don't practice too much, because you can actually work your shoulders out. So let's do same type of thing. We're going to reach up. I want you to pull the whole shoulder harness up, collarbone, shoulder blade, and reach up as high as you can, as relaxed as you can, so everything's loose, and then literally let your arm drop. And you can do one of two things. If you have a okay tolerance for pain, you can let it hit your leg, or you can use your other hand and let it hit the other hand, right? So we're going to switch sides. Keep your spine very, very straight. Relax, breathe, like you're stretching all the way up. Let everything relax and let it drop. It's going to be painful, by the way, if you're practicing at home. Don't hurt yourself. Pain is one of the body's ways of saying stop. A little bit of soreness is okay when you're practicing, working out something, and you do it. But don't try. If you try, there's no power. But where you'll find is when it's completely in free fall, is where there's the absolute most power. The whole weight of your arm is heavy. It's kind of macabre, but imagine you cut your arm off and weighed it. How much does it weigh? That's heavy. Get that free flow so that all the power is behind it, right? There's no tension that's preventing the movement. So what you feel hitting your hands, be careful, by the way, may turn red. Same thing with your thighs. You may, if you practice this one, some teachers would make us practice this type of exercise until it's black and blue. So you don't have to practice that way right now. So with this type of free floating, this is the same power that we should have when we're doing the swing hands, which means when we're doing X-stepping, we should have this kind of power. So we can teach even a very, very beginner, new person, how to move quickly, have power that's also self-defense. We avoid, we make contact, and we advance. Before we continue, does anyone have questions, thoughts, comments, ideas on anything we've done so far? Okay, let's continue. We'll do one more thing, and then we'll practice some Tai Chi together. So the idea is, take this X-stepping and use it in coordination with what we had talked about with practicing squatting, right? Being able to stand up and squat down. Even if you don't have wall space, you can use the corner to make sure that your spine is lined up. You can use a door, right? There's enough space to practice. Very safe, go at your own level. Let's add one thing, changing height. So now when you step back to the corner, sink so that your knee is bent. And then bring your other leg, but don't set it down. And then go back to the center. Keep your hips on the same level. The knee is bent the same way. And then shift forward. Grip your foot. Bring the other foot, but don't set it down. Breathing deep. Try to relax. Center. Keep your hips like they're locked at the same height. Grip the ground. Breathing deep. Don't plant the foot. Center. One more corner. Keep the hips level. Locked. Rear right. Center. This, by the way, this is when we want to talk about perfect practice for Tai Chi. Perfect practice depends on what you're aiming for. So if we want to be classical Tai Chi stylists, we want to keep that line of the hips at the same level the whole time once the form has started. So if you start and you do your commencement and you end up here, you should be practicing all of your Ban Lan Shuis, all of your movements, all of your crane with your hips at that level. It's challenging. Can be. Can be a very intense workout, very good workout. So, what that means is two things. When you practice day to day, you can practice very upright. You don't have to be doing your ward off here. This is like competition. If you want to go the extra mile, something, you don't have to do that. And then the question becomes, what about changing heights? I've seen video of TC changing height. For each posture, you can have something different in mind. Changing from low to high. In the Byunggang form, that's actually considered a favored principle, right? Is every posture should have a change. If it starts high, it should end low. And if it starts low, it should end high. We want to have almost a cartoony squash and stretch. Tai Chi, you can do that for your own practice. If you know what the martial arts meanings of those are, you can change heights all you want. But if you want to try to feel like you're doing the form correctly, let's do the form, and then I'm actually I want to show something here, something. So let's do the first section, just the first section. Allow your feet to touch. Bring your head top up. If you're teaching, make sure that you're on camera. You're still in the frame. Relax your tailbone. Bring your hands together in the center for Tai Chi Harmony. Connect your tongue to the upper palate. Lift the base of the torso. Feel the energy in your feet connect to the earth. Relax your feet. They can be strong. You can be gripping your toes and keep them relaxed. And then from the head top, connect your energy to heaven. Opening to the side, sink your tailbone. This is Tai Chi, Qi Shi, the start of Tai Chi. Breathing deep, grasp the sparrow's tail. Step forward, left, ward off. Still breathing. Left, grasp the sparrow's tail. Square step forward. Right, ward off. Breathing deep. This is called roll back to trap in. Join the palms, press. Separate the palms, push. Look left, glance right, double press. Horizontal splitting hands. This is called hook. Square step forward, turn your waist, single whip. Turning back to the north. This is called lift hands to up posture. We talked about connecting the wrists, rolling. I'm turning 90 degrees. 4, white crane opens the wings. Play the harp. Brush knee, press to the center. Breathing, square step, back. This is a repeat of crane opening the wings. Play the harp. Brush knee, press to the center. Brush knee, C-step, palm press. Brush knee, C-step, palm press. Holding the moon in the chest. Thumb coming right up the center line. Punch, breathing deep. This is Ban Lan Shui, which means move parry, punch, to the corner, move, parry in all directions, punch to the center, once more, move, parry, punch, roof on, still facing west, turning the shoulders, press, press, return tiger to mountain, 10 shape fists, punch right, punch left, He Tai Chi, Tai Chi harmony. So, by the way, this last posture we have, this one is rolling up before we punch, is in Mandarin, is called Shi Si Shao. So Shi is the number 10, which looks kind of like a plus in the written Mandarin. Xi is like the description of something. It means its form. And Shao is what we say hand. Diao Shou is like Shizi Shou, right? Something like this. My Mandarin's terrible. But the idea is it doesn't translate very well because it's one of the few ones. Everyone, if we say a crane, everyone can envision a crane. The tiger, right? We know what tiger is, punching, very easy. But this 10-shape hands is basically the rough Mandarin translation because I guess like this, I don't know, that's the best explanation I have for it. It's sort of the same when we have in the first part, lift hands to up posture. After we do that, we have this same sort of feeling. So before we continue, anyone have thoughts, questions, comments, ideas? Let's do the form again, and we'll practice up to cloud hands in the second section. So we're going to repeat everything we just did and add some more to it. If you're following along at home, try to practice along, right? It's not nearly as long or as complex as you think it is. The other thing too is the first 8 movements, after we have roll back, press, push, look left, glance right, double press, split, hook, whip, those postures occur 8 times throughout the whole form. So once you learn those first 8, what we're going to do today, they'll repeat 3 times. We'll do it in the beginning after ward off. We'll have roll back, press, push, blah, blah, blah. And then after we do the turn to the second section, they repeat the same movements. And then after we have fold knees, change step, roll back, press, push, da, 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 right? So today, just now, we'll do those 8 postures 3 times before we finish the form. So see if you can find where they are. See if you can follow along. At least try to step, try to breathe, and have some type of half smile, minimum. Let's continue. Head top up, relax your tailbone, relax your shoulders. Bring your hands together in the center. Tai Chi, Chi Chi. We'll go just a little bit faster than last time. Right grasp the sparrow's tail. Left, ward off. Breathing. Left grasp the sparrow's tail. Right, ward off. Roll back to trap in. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal split hands. Hook. Single whip. Split. Brush. Roll up. Roll down. Turning. Crane. Opening the wings. Harp. Press. Square step back. This is repeating crane, opening the wings, harp, press. brush knee, C-step, press, brush knee, C-step, press, embrace the moon, holding the moon in the chest, punch. Ba Lan Shui is move, parry, punch, move, parry, punch, one more, corner, all directions, right to the center, as if an enclosure, turning, closing French doors, left, then right, return tiger to mountain, we're continuing, bring the feet together, form a T, step to the square, palm press to the center, take a deep breath, and here's where we roll back. Even though we're facing the other direction, it's the same as we've done many, many times in the first section. Push, left, breathe right, double press, horizontal, split hands. Hook, turn back to look at the moon, 180. Block with the left hand, right hand covers, spear fist through the center, repulse the monkey. Number 1, repulse the monkey. Number 2, breathing deep, repulse the monkey. Number 3, Share Fei. This is called diagonal flying. Hai Di Zhang. Needle at the bottom of the C. Fan through back. Turning, block, punch, kick. Square step. Lan. Shui. Keep your spine straight, head top up, fold knees downward, change step, and here we are at roll back. Press, push, left, glance right, double press, horizontal, split hands, almost there. Hook, side whip, facing forward. This is cloud hands. 1, 1. Cloud hands. 2, 2. Cloud hands. 3, 3. Diao shows hook. Corner whip. And from here, just bring your feet together. Bring your hands together. Take a deep breath. Last week we ran out of time, and it says we have just a few minutes left in this one as well. Before we continue, anyone have thoughts, questions, comments, ideas? Yeah? Okay. Before we close, I want to read something. So take a second. You can stand however you like. Imagine collecting the chi, right? You feel your body temperature has changed some. So do the breathing, and just as if the chi can soak all the way down to the bones. I want to show you something I received as a gift recently, right? This is a Chinese set of these hand juggling, contact juggling balls, right? I don't know if you've ever seen these. They have a type of purpose, and it came with a card, right? This is what I'm going to read. It's like almost like business card, but it's not quite full size. And maybe I can post the text later. It says Tai Chi or Tai Chi Chuan, Tai Chi Chuan, literally Supreme Ultimate Fist, is an internal Chinese martial art often practiced with the aim of promoting health and longevity. Tai Chi Chuan's training forms are well known as the slow motion routines that groups of people practice together every morning in the parks around the world, particularly in China. So it's very interesting. They're selling Tai Chi. I don't know who manufactures these. I don't know where they come from. There's no sort of tag or label. But they're promoting Tai Chi with this. And then let's read on the back. It says they're referring to them as health balls. So it says, originating 12,000 or 2,000 years ago in the Ming Dynasty of China, they developed as an ancient way of treating what we call today Alzheimer's and are still considered national treasures. The wording is very interesting on these. According to Chinese theory of Jingluo, there are various acupuncture points in the palm of one's hand. When exercising with the balls, the points are stimulated. This is said to stimulate blood circulation, improve memory, relax muscles and joints, relieve stress, and promote sleep. Lastly, by practicing daily, you will maintain good memory, clear thinking, stamina, and ultimately prolonging your life. So it's coming to the same conclusion that we have for Tai Chi practice. And my question to you is, what's the purpose of this? What if you can rejuvenate your body? Let's breathe while we talk. Starting on one side or the other, turning. Closing. Last week we ran out of time. So this week, what's the purpose of the long practice? Why have longevity? Is it so you can make a lot of money? Is it so you can laugh at the funeral of your enemies? Clean up on long-term high-yield investments? No, it's for spiritual cultivation. So the purpose for this, and it's the same for the self-defense. You can't change directions. You can't cultivate your spirit if you can't defend yourself. So first we have to learn the most primitive way, appease the monkey mind with the fist, and then later the enlightened mind is cultivated and comes out. Go at your own pace. Check that your tongue is connected to the upper palate. I'm doing one last one. Let the hands float. Bring everything back to the center for Tai Chi Harmony. Put your mind into the Dantian. Take a second internally to give thanks to yourself, for yourself. One long, last, deep breath. And that's it. Have a great weekend. Call, write, text.